So I'll give you a brief flow for today. It's summer, it's Grishma, and so we're going to talk a little bit about lifestyle practices, the season, what's happening in your body, and then after that we'll talk a little bit about constipation. We'll have a student come in who's a yoga practitioner, and we kind of have a full house, so I think it will just be a demonstration by her of different poses that you can use to prevent constipation or to relieve it. So now I will introduce our wonderful fearless leader, Shunya Pratichinathur. Shunya is our acharya, and she is the founder of Vedika Global.
Thank you, Tracy.
Shunya is a third generation Ayurvedic healer. She works on a local level by running this school, teaching all of us in a Gurukul fashion. And the Gurukul fashion is building a relationship between the teacher and the student to help develop wonderful, knowledgeable leaders and healers. And Shunya also works on a national and international level by tirelessly working on different community advisory boards. And what Shunya is trying to do is hold this torch for classical Ayurveda so that all the three sciences work together, Ayurveda, Yoga, and Vedanta, and we bring it out into the world the way that it was supposed to be taught 5,000 years ago. So thank you again for coming here, and enjoy Sangha.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy. I'm so happy to be here, so privileged. And I'll share a little bit about myself, but I also want to share that there are two people who will be joining my team who are also just some wonderful people you will learn with. I'll be really proud to share in a little bit my colleague who's here, Dr. Mandar Bedekar. He has arrived from India, and he's a master teacher and an MD and a professor in Ayurveda. And he's a very senior doctor and a professor who will be joining us briefly to tell us more about what we do to ourselves that we get constipated.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be a great privilege to be learning from him. So he'll be joining me briefly after we have talked about summer. And then we will all be blessed to learn from Vedika's really popular Ayurveda chef and food teacher Sanjay ji.
Mm-hmm.
And Suk was very excited.
Very excited.
One of the prescriptions of enduring the parching heat and dryness of summer is, we have been told by the great rishis, the sages, that we should spend time in the forest among the plants and the trees and the aromatic flowers and mansions where statues are pouring water from them, So I was contemplating on all of this beautiful poetry in Ayurveda, which is such an exacting science at the same time. And I do realize that these images have been created to tell us that the sun is rather hot and the wind is rather dry. So we should relax and rest and rejuvenate during this season. And I was thinking that if Hemaji would add a beautiful Vedic song or a bhajan in our Sangha, what do you think, Bhairavi? It would just double up the feast of learning about summer, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
Sukwa says yes.
Yes, yes.
So we will request her that because she has a beautiful melodious voice. So our Sangha will proceed for the next 2 hours. And then we will break for some feedback from you and then a potluck with Sanjay ji teaching us some wonderful cooking in between. So it's quite a packed Sangha.
Mm-hmm.
I will like to begin with teaching about Grishma Ritu or summer. And to keep it simple, because I see many students, but mostly I see new faces, very happy to receive you in our home. I'll keep it very simple and keep it completely allied and anchored to the science, and yet try not to sprinkle too many Sanskrit words or terminology in it, so that's very simple for you. All in all, in this next 2 months, till about July 14th, we are in summer, Grishma. After that, we enter another Ritu called, what is it called? Varsha. Very good. We'll keep talking every month about the different requirements, but for now, it is something for us to understand that it is not only getting hotter and hotter, but do you agree that it is getting drier and drier?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that? Feel it on the skin?
Mm-hmm.
How else do you know that it is dry?
Thirst.
The plants everywhere, you feel thirsty more, yes? Anybody feel that their bowel movement is also getting drier? Maybe. Okay, sometimes it can happen where the dryness outside can build up and then it can impact internally. And this heat, they are both building up. So the heat requires counter qualities of coolness, okay, and the dryness requires counter quality of oiliness. So 2 learnings we are having is that we need in our food and in our lifestyle what is called a Shita Guna, or what is cool. We are not talking about ice, we are not talking about freezing our foods or frozen drinks and foods. We are just talking about coolness, as in the coolness of cool room temperature, shaded natural fruit juices and things like that. Are you understanding?
Mm-hmm.
The inherent coolness of certain foods like milk and milk products, rice. So, and the coolness that we get from moon bathing versus sun bathing. So that kind of cool quality is what we need, Shita Guna. So this is not a time to drink very hot fluids like very, very hot water, or can you remind me of some very hot and parching drinks? Alcohol. So alcohol is recommended to be highly reduced or abstained from or diluted with water. So alcohol is damaging to the system right now more so than ever. Because of the heat and the dryness, the human system is already paying a toll increasingly. Today is that cool day, but very soon, it will become very, very hot. And even this occasional coolness is not necessarily moist. There is dryness. Do you agree?
Yeah.
If there are roses in your backyard, they are wanting water. Do you agree?
Yeah.
If you forget to water, they are quickly wilting, right? Then that shows to us that even if the sky is overcast, that's a microclimate for a micro hours. That doesn't change the truth of this ritu. Is that clear, students also? So we have to be aware that we are in a way balancing both pitta and vata, for those of you who know about doshas, in this season. And we are balancing not only heat but also dryness. And in fact, dryness is becoming an aggravating issue. So those of you who are balancing both vata and pitta, please accept my condolences for the season. And then my suggestions and support for you. What else can I say? There are challenging times that come to us and easier times. We've had easier times in other ritus. The same Vata and Pitta people have benefited from Hemanta Ritu, Shishir Ritu. Now this is the Vasanta Ritu, they were fine. This is the tough season for these people. And they better gear up. And the way to gear up is to come to Vedika and learn these things. And then the way to gear up is to make sure that you follow the prescriptions that we are giving you. These prescriptions were not made up by me or Dr. Bedekar or Sanjay ji or any of our recent family members or teachers. They have been given to us by very, very venerable and amazing sage scientists called rishis thousands of years ago. That is why we bow to them. And we have seen, as Tracy said, even if you follow a small percentage of it, it will make a difference. So when we don't want too much hot, is this a great time to have very hot showers? Maybe some of you are managing some body treatment and after oiling we have asked you to take a small hot shower, after Abhyanga. But it won't go on and on and on. Like, this is not the time to sit in your hot jacuzzi. This is not the time to sit in your hot jacuzzi with a cup of wine. It's not the time for all these things, because temporary pleasure will lead to some discomfort in body and mind. So the temperature of the food should also not be burning hot. And from the hot point of view, even very hot, as in foods that bring about heating in the body, as in ginger, garlic, chilies, mustard, right? Radish. These things we will reduce or eliminate based upon our doshas. My students know how much I love ginger chai, right? Everybody knows adrak chai. Mm-hmm. Every time our eyes cross each other, they know I am about to say adrak chai, so they nod and they make it. But this long weekend was the first weekend I and Sanjay ji made chai without adrak at our home, because it is getting hotter now, without ginger. We haven't still moved over to fennel, adding fennel, but we at least were trying to eliminate the ginger. Though I may take the ginger very early in the morning if I want to, for a few more days, when it's still slightly cooler. But otherwise, we have to mindfully think about what are the heating foods that we are consuming. No matter which dosha we are. Maybe if we are kapha dosha dominant, we can get away with some more heating, but still the season is a very macro factor on our micro body. So even a kapha dosha person does not want to become too dry, right? So because vata can increase after a while. So we still want that they should be, instead of using burning hot spice like mustard seeds or hing, maybe we can use less hot spice like cumin. How is that? Right? There are some vegetables we prefer, and these vegetables would not, when things get digested in the body, they do two things. They either add heat or they take away heat. We don't want to take things which add heat to the body, right? Mm-hmm. So alcohol will add heat. Fermented foods will add heat. Can you give me example of fermented foods?
Kimchi.
Kimchi, yes.
Dosas,
fermented foods. Now, if you are a Korean and you are lived all your life on kimchi, we are not going to say that now that you've come to Vedika, you have to become Indian. We are not saying that. But we might say to you to reduce it, or if there is variation, to change the spice a little bit in the kimchi, I don't know. And in the dosa, one has to reduce it slightly. One can have more rice. In South Indian food, one can have rice also, one can have chapati also. One need not only have fermented food all the time. So fermented food in this season is slightly difficult. And you forgot a very big fermented food.
Bread.
Idli.
Bread is what do you replace bread with besides roti?
You just forget about bread. That's what I would recommend.
Beers.
Because bread adds to constipation and digestive problems, which Mandarji will tell you this now next. So bread is a very heavy, fermented, difficult to digest food. If you are very healthy, you can have it, but in this season specifically, we do not like very much fermented food. If you are going to take bread, we don't ask you to live in a bubble. We would like you to reduce it, not have it daily, 2 times a day, make yourself a sandwich. We're not asking you to do that, right? So it should be changed with, like, for example, I'll just come to you, those soft homemade tortillas, right? Have you seen those? They are non-fermented, right? At Trader Joe's, I've seen organic ones too. Then I've seen they are made of wheat. I've seen wheat tortillas, organic, handmade. That's a good roll to have. You can make chapatis. Then you can get non-yeasted bread. I've seen those too. So some options will have to be looked at. And then that dosa can be replaced by the non-fermented flour, like the ragi dosa, moong dal dosa, quite tasty and nourishing to the system. Again, I just had a dosa 2 days ago. But I don't think I'm going to have a dosa every day. That's the difference. So we are not saying that you have to completely, we're just telling you what is better and what is less better. Are you getting the principle? That anything that adds heat to your system, there are things that will add heat to your system, right? But we don't want to overdo them. That's the main thing, okay? Then things that take away heat from you, things are like rice, wheat, milk, squashes, the squash family. And then how about sweet fruits? Some of the sweet fruits like grapes, pomegranate, mango, cucumber, and coconut. Coconut is a very important drink. So first we are understanding that we want shita, more shita than more ushna, more cool than very hot. And as in cool, we don't want cold, frozen, because then that will aggravate vata dosha, which we don't want. Okay. Then next is we don't want ruksha, dry. We want snigdha food or oily food. So ghee is good to have in this season. So can you give me examples of dry food in your life? Crackers. I don't think anybody takes crackers here anymore. They don't come to Vedika Global. But if you do, minimize it, right? Then what about those dry salsa chips with burning hot salsa? Not a good recommendation. Now somebody invites you to a Mexican store and you go there, restaurant, and you have a few, but then your mind should remember it is Grishma Ritu, so don't finish the whole bowl and ask for more. That will not be a good thing at this season. We're not saying these foods are wrong, we're just saying seasonally, dry foods, very hot foods are not recommended. Then dry salads. Even though the media in the American country, I've noticed that I've seen those in the newspaper, it's all about salads, right, in summer. Get into shape by eating salads. Then buy the right clothes for summer. But the salads, raw foods have some dry energy in them. Better to steam them, add a little bit of ghee to them, some butter, maybe cool butter, natural butter, creamy, non-salted butter. That would be good. So we don't do too much dry. Then among the tastes, we have 6 tastes in Ayurveda. We like swadu, sweet sweet taste. Swadu, Shita, Snigdha, Drava. So we like sweet, naturally occurring. This is not, I'm not asking you to eat pastries or cake or anything like that. Naturally occurring sweet taste, barley, you know. Last summer we had shown barley smoothie. Barley, just barley powder, you add water and you can drink that. Then rice, wheat, cucumber, coconut, sweet fruits, plums, nectarines, all these things are sweet. Moong dal, ghee, all the dairy family. Now there's one small difference. Though we are asking for sweet taste, we are still asking you to eat light. We are not asking you to eat very heavy in this season. Does anybody know why?
Because the Agni is not very...
Agni is not so great. What happens is when the body is in homeostasis, so when there is lot of heat outside, the inner heat, as in the Agni, the digestive fire, is not so great. So even if you are taking milk, it doesn't mean you take large amount of milk in one take. You may have to spread it out. If you stuff your stomach at this season, you will immediately feel discomfort. Anybody felt that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This season, you will feel it like that. So in this season, the digestive capacity is not that great, yet we are asking you to eat sweet things. So for students, whereas in Hemant Ritu, when you are taking sweet things, we have seats up ahead. Chitra, we still have 3 chairs here.
Oh, chairs.
Yeah, 3 bag jacks.
Oh, we have some here too.
Yeah, okay. So you have to see, so you're not going to deep fry everything, right? And if you're going to eat mangoes, it doesn't mean you're going to just eat mangoes and heavy versions of mango. Okay, take a mango and wait, let it digest. Are you understanding? So again, it is not guru, but it is laghu. So it is not dry, it is oily. It is not super hot, it is warm to cool temperature and experience in the body. Then it is not guru, heavy, it is more laghu or digestive. Guru laghu is not in terms of weight, but in terms of whether you could digest it or not. If you drank 1 glass of even water and you felt a stomach pain, that means it was heavy for you, right? Then you should drink less water. So if the food is giving you discomfort, that means it is becoming guru or heavy for you. Simple. Very simple, common sense language. Does this make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that your own pets are not eating that much now? They are mostly being sedentary and then eating at the end of the day or once a day. Anybody noticed a difference? Yes, Romney, you saw that? Did you see that? I saw that in my animals too. So, this is the only time of the year when it is very hot that it is recommended that you can take a small nap in the daytime. But that doesn't mean that you just close the curtains and disappear from the planet for 3 hours. It just means you take a small nap. Mandarji is laughing. But I have to talk to them like this, otherwise they will disappear. They will say, Shunyaji said we could take a nap. So, a small nap is okay. Means some resting, that's what I would say. Okay? But especially people who are very tired, dehydrated, they feel that they have very less energy, then they should catch a few wings also. Okay? Maybe not right after the meal, but maybe 1 or 2 hours later. They can take a small nap. They can take the nap lying not a fully flat position, propped up with pillows so that we don't lose you. It's good to space out your activities. Do more in the morning, some in the evening. Take it more easy in the daytime. Tiredness will be more during this season. Dehydration will be more. Actually, these 2 seasons are building into the next 2 seasons, which are even worse. So if we start taking care now, we will not feel so tired. Has anybody noticed however they begin kind of well in January, February, and then as the year progresses they get tireder and more depleted? Anybody notice that? Any hands? That's the natural flow. Then again energy picks up after fall. So for that you have to come to our school to understand the flow of why these things happen. But if we really respect the seasons, we will understand. I would say that my preference to teach you about one product would be coconut, where the coconut water can be had for quick replenishment of rasa or fluid, dravata in the body. It will quickly pick you up. So I don't think you should buy any of those colored drinks in nice bottles. Only keep coconut, fresh coconut with you or organic bottled coconut with you. And you can have coconut water as your quick pick-me-up. Then the coconut oil can be massaged on your scalp also and even on your skin. So those of you who have a routine Abhyanga practice, you can either do it completely with coconut oil or you can mix it with sesame. If you have more pain in the body, I would recommend sticking with sesame or mixing it somewhat with coconut. But if you are just routine doing Abhyanga because you don't have pain but you are doing it because we have taught you to put oil on your body, which is a good idea, it's especially needed these 2 months, then I would recommend converting to coconut, especially if you have pitta or heat tendency in the body. Okay? And coconut would be a great idea. Or if you are vata pitta, then you can mix half coconut and sesame. And it will be very nice and nourishing. If you are more kapha, you can just do sesame. If you have pain, you can do sesame. Okay? So coconut would be very good for that. And use coconut from your scalp to your toes. And you will have beauty, your hair will not get dried out, your skin will feel really good, and you'll come through well. You won't age during this process. Your skin won't look aged and dried. And then the coconut pulp can also be eaten, especially if you've had extreme tiredness or you've lost body fluids or you've had sudden diarrhea. Afterwards, when you're recovering, not right after, not during the diarrhea, but when you are recovering, recuperating, you need that soft pulp also. Carries a lot of nutrition. And another, do people grow aloe vera in their homes? Another really nice treatment for the skin and burns would be like aloe vera directly, the gel, or you can cut and put on your eye. Really nourishing. And if you start feeling very, very hot, like you're just hot, and hot, restless, can't sleep, then I would recommend, do you know licorice? Cooking milk with licorice, half teaspoon or so, and drinking milk with licorice. Licorice has a cooling quality. It adds coolingness, pitta reducing quality. So these are some additions that you can do. Rose sharbat would be very good, khash sharbat will be very, but they should be real. Like if you come to the next Sangha in June, we are going to again make rose sharbat from our home roses. The rose sharbats we get in the Indian store are full of all sorts of things. So we actually make rose sharbat from the roses in our garden. So we are going to be teaching that in next Sangha. can even take coconut water and bathe with it. Yeah, if you're feeling rashy skin. Then another really useful cooling agent is coriander seeds. You can either make a decoction out of it, or you can soak coriander seeds in water, keep it overnight and drink that water. But a decoction is great. Make the decoction, then cool it. Coriander is a very nice cooling agent. Licorice is a cooling agent. But the humble coriander seeds, available for $2 a pound. Take a tablespoon or so, soak it in a jug of water, and next day drink that water. That is better. So it can be had by any dosha when the heat increases. So rather than having to drink chilled water, we can have this kind of water. Then those of you who are from India, you may remember clay pots to keep water in. Now clay pots are again available. So you may just have to go to a pottery place. So if you keep water in clay pots, it would be nice. Then you can say goodbye to the refrigerator. That water is a little shocking to the system. So in summer we are getting the basic idea that we want Shita, right? Swadu, sweet, cool, oiliness, and liquidity and lightness of the food. You got the principle? So you have to look at this. So for those of you who are my students, you can imagine dudi sabji, right? Light. Moong dal, cool and light. Yeah. Turai, right? Snake gourd, light. Upma, wheat, suji, dalia, all these things are light. Any questions on summer protocols?
Dry foods, dry, that is the one.
Dry foods would be dry at this time. Sweet fruits, full of nice, juicy, liquid nature would be great.
Like nuts and everything
Should be avoided. They are also heavy to digest. If you are going to take nuts, you may just count them. Like 3 almonds, 4 almonds, not the way we Americans eat. Handful.
Yeah, I eat a lot of those.
Yeah, that is, whenever something comes in media, we really oblige the producers. We just start taking them in pounds and cartloads of it. Everything to a limit. This is not the season for it.
So even after overnight soaking also not a good thing.
What will you overnight soak?
The almonds.
You can soak them, but it doesn't change the basic heavy guru quality. This is not a season for it. This is for lighter, more liquid food like mango panna, lassi. Enjoy those things. Do you remember in India, did your mother feed you nuts in summer? No. She only fed you nuts around Diwali, no? Hannah? Yeah. You should go to your mom and take all these notes down. She will tell you and say, what does your Shunya know? I know everything. Any other question? Yes?
What is the benefit of storing water in clay pots versus in the fridge?
The earthen pot, the earth has natural cooling tendency, cooling property. The refrigerator, no problem, but it overcools it and dries it. And that can increase Vata dosha. Vata dosha gets increased by dryness as well as coldness, excessive Shita and Ruksha guna. So things that are put in the refrigeration, they automatically increase Vata dosha. So even if you have to take fruits, my recommendation is to first put them on the counter for a little bit, then have them, if it's possible.
So what is a good breakfast for the summer?
Suji, have you had that here? Cream of wheat with milk.
With milk.
Yeah, cracked wheat with milk.
So the milk has
Just
to be
cooked
warm.
all milk. Milk can be warmed and then cooled.
Huh?
Lassi, mango lassi, yogurt lassi with sugar. We'll show how to make it. Moong dal crepes, green moong crepes, steamed moong. Steamed moongs, moong dal crepe, and I would not recommend eggs daily. They'll be too heating. So if you are very attached to them, then once or twice a week is enough.
How about oatmeal? Would that be?
Oatmeal, the qualities of oatmeal, I'm not sure.
What about kanji?
Kanji okay, rice, it's rice. Pata nahi. Coconut also has an anti-sun tanning property also.
Well, isn't yogurt fermented?
Yeah, that's why we are not asking you to take yogurt, we are just asking for lassi. Just yogurt also creates some moist secretions in the body which we like at this time. So we just take 1 part yogurt and 4 parts water. Then we stir it for a long time and then we add sugar as needed. So it becomes buttermilk, takra, which has slightly different properties. If you are going to take yogurt at this time, you have to take it with sugar added to it.
What's the preferred form of sugar that you use?
Raw sugar, natural sugar,
Like
cane sugar, sharkara,
Jaggery?
rock candy.
Rock candy? Rock candy.
Rock candy has a cooling property.
Oh, good.
You can have rock candy. Feeling very hot, you mix rock candy in water or milk. It will have additional cooling property. Just put it on your tongue, you feel good. Yes.
How about agave?
Yeah, I don't know its property because it's a non-Ayurvedic food, so I don't know about it.
Okay.
Sorry. Honey is not as cooling as rock candy.
It's coconut palm sugar is good for
Yeah.
people with diabetes.
Coconut palm sugar. वो क्या है? Coconut palm sugar.
Coconut ka sugar, I think.
Coconut sugar is made out of coconut.
Crystallized.
It's the
and-
palm. It's the basically the sap, and then they crush
Must
it.
be rich and oily. Yeah, must be good.
And it has a low glycemic index on the western side of things. For diabetes.
Mandarji, do we use palm sugar? I have not heard. I also don't know much, but I can think that it might be nice and oily. Yeah. Whatever is in our classic books, we are confident about it. Whatever is not, we just honestly tell you, right? We can't know everything.
Oh, on the fruit, gooseberry?
Gooseberry is fine. Gooseberry jam is fine. Rose petal jam sold at Indian stores. That can also be had. But we are going to focus next Sangha on roses and mango. So I think all my students will show up.
What about like blueberries and strawberries?
Strawberries were not growing in India, nor were blueberries.
Like cantaloupes, watermelon?
Cantaloupes great, honeydew great, but watermelon, the red one, we don't recommend at all much, especially for summer, and because it is sold to be the best thing for summer. But you can have occasionally, but it actually aggravates all 3 doshas. So at least don't sit with the whole, watermelon saying. It will also make you bloated, anybody feel bloated after? Yeah. It is the one fruit Ayurveda has declared to not be the best fruit, good food. Occasional okay, in small amount.
There is good amla juice sold in the Indian stores now. Because I can't get the natural form of gooseberry here.
Have a look at it. I have never had it, so I don't know. Yeah, that would be fine. Preserved amalaki in sugar. But better in Hemantri too. It's slightly sugary.
Yeah.
But you can have it, little bit. But, are we good? So what did we learn? What did we learn? What are you walking away with?
No dry foods,
No dry foods. That's the one for you.
encourage sweetness,
Okay.
oily,
Okay.
moving away from the heating foods like ginger.
Yes. Slowly reducing them. Can we completely remove heating foods and heating spices from our food? No. But their proportion has to be reduced, right? And raw onions would be something we have to. Cooked onions are softer, but raw onions are more pungent. We can't remove completely all the spices, but we can choose more carefully, right? We don't need burning hot spicy dishes. So would tomatoes be very good at this point? No, they are okay in some other seasons. Lemon, if you add sugar to the lemon juice, sharbat bana ke. Yes, Teresa?
Eggplant.
Eggplant would be, you studied about eggplant, no?
Pungent.
It's hot and sharp,
Yeah.
so it would not be very good at this time.
All Indian curries are made in onions and tomatoes.
Yeah.
No, no, not all.
Majority of them,
remove
either there's onions or there's onions. and
Onions
tomato,
are
or
okay,
tomato
no?
purées.
When onions are cooked in ghee, they become sweet.
They
It
do,
is
okay.
the tomato that you have to reduce
Okay,
or remove.
okay.
No, actually, yeah, if you experiment with it, different types of ways of making will come forward.
Okay.
What about cabbage?
Cabbage, okay, cooked in ghee.
What are the good green vegetables for summer? You earlier mentioned squashes, cucumber.
What are the green vegetables in season at this time?
Bok choy.
Asparagus.
Asparagus, fine, all year round.
Spinach.
Okra is very good in summer. Okra is very good in summer. You can even apply okra paste if it is burning and cracked. If you have cracks because of heat, you can apply okra like a treatment. It has pitch chiller qualities, right, students? So it has this healing, sticky, kapha up increasing qualities. Spinach. Mandaji, palak chalega na? हाँ, palak, spinach okay.
Chard.
Bok choy, I don't know. You have to take the help of Chinese medicine.
You mentioned fennel earlier.
Fennel will be fine. Fennel root, fennel leaves, fennel seeds. Have you eaten those fennel seeds in Indian restaurants? Fennel is good for digestion during these times. It is also contained in our mix. I won't recommend mustard leaves. They're very hot. No, mustard leaves. Then another one, daikon. They are very drying. Very drying. And greens sometimes can be drying, vat increasing. So you have to cook them with ghee.
The whole time you cook it in ghee, or just it, or you? cook it in
Leaves, when you do the when you put them in and then they leave their own water, right? Yeah.
And then but I always put the ghee on after the cooking, no?
After, so okay, but at
Or-
some point you include the ghee.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah. No problem. They should be cooked and they should have ghee. Whether you put in the beginning or afterwards depends on your cuisine.
And ghee doesn't shift its component when it's.
You can have raw ghee, you can have cooked ghee, doesn't matter. And ghee doesn't have to be refrigerated. Ghee can be kept on your counter and ghee doesn't get old as long as you don't put a wet spoon in it.
What about the chives, kale, that
I said all greens may increase vata dosha. So they don't contain gifts for you. They are just, they were good in spring. If you have come to the spring sangha, they are kapha reducing. Here we are trying to increase kapha. So they are not the best foods at this point. They are just, if nothing else you eat them, but then you drown them with some oil. Yes, my dear.
Do you recommend not refrigerating ghee?
Yeah, I don't recommend. It's not needed. If it is good ghee, If it has been well made, it will not go bad.
And what was the spoon you said? As long as the spoon.
If when you put a spoon in it, it should not be wet.
Things like yams?
Hanji?
Yam? Yams are good?
Yam may be heavy, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
We are also not eating very heavy. It's a unique time. We want to eat sweet, we don't want to eat heavy. Go figure. No, if you want to have yam, you can have it, yeah? But in the afternoon, with small amount, you can have it. Sweet potato, you can have it, but small amount. You will not eat a big platter. Yeah. Welcome. We have more. Yeah. Yes. Bitter melon. Bitter melon was more appropriate in spring. It is slightly dryness increasing. It is kapha reducing. So, if we are going to have it, we will have it occasionally. Everything can be had occasionally with the principles. You have to make it more oily.